Excellent, Commander. Communicate was transmitted to Secret Soviet is inborn home. Investigate possible connection with capture radar center and destroy sub-production capability. Okay.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders. Vehicle reporting.
Reporting.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting orders.
Construction
Affirmative.
options. Our base
Vehicle
is under
reporting.
attack.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Waiting
Building.
order. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Training. On hold. Training.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Yes, sir. At once. Very well. Reporting. Very well. Reporting. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
New
Affirmative.
construction options.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle awaiting reporting.
Vehicle affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Agreed. Yes, sir. Of course. At once. Very well. Of course. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Agreed.
New construction options. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Reporting.
Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. Reporting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Naval
Affirmative.
here. Lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Yes,
reporting.
sir. Yes, sir.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Acknowledged.
New construction options. Building. Insufficient
Yes, sir.
funds.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Our base is
Affirmative.
under attack. Preparing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Very well. Of course.
Unit lost.
Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. New
Yes, sir.
construction
Affirmative.
options.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Preparing.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Waiting orders.
Preparing.
Awaiting orders. Waiting. At once. Acknowledged.
Unit
Reporting. Yes, sir.
repaired.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Building. Insufficient funds. Building. Preparing. On hold. Cancel. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit repaired. Building.
Awaiting orders.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle affirmative.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
New construction
Vehicle report
options. Preparing. Unit
Ready.
repaired.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Ready.
Unit
Ready. Of
prepared.
course. Affirmative. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Of course.
Unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Waiting orders. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Preparing.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Repaired. Unit repaired. Repaired.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Insufficient funds. Structure sold. Repairing. Unit repaired. Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir? Yes, sir? Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Awaiting
Yes,
orders.
sir. Yes,
Base
awaiting
is
orders.
under attack.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Building. Construction complete.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Again.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Yes,
Building.
sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting
Yes, sir.
orders.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Repairing. Repairing.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Our base is under attack. Building. Building. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Building. Training. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Training. Unit
Reporting
ready.
orders.
Acknowledge.
Training. Construction
Reporting.
complete. Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training. Building. Building. Unit ready.
Ready and waiting at once. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
Building. Base is under attack. Unit ready. On hold. Cancel. Building. Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Vehicle reporting.
Our
Affirmative.
base is under attack.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Affirmative.
Repairing. Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Cancel. Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Vehicle reporting.
Repairing. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Training.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Ready and waiting
Unit
order.
lost.
Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost. Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Building. Repairing. Construction complete. Building. Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
Vehicle
On
reporting.
hold. Cancel.
Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Repairing. Repairing. Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Repairing. Repairing. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Insufficient funds. Repairing. Unit repaired. Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Vehicle, report
Unit
knowledge.
ready. Building.
Reporting.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
First objective met. Our base is under attack. Prepare.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Awaiting
Yes, sir.
orders.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, affirmative.
Unit ready. Preparing.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Unit prepared. Building.
Vehicle, reporting. Acknowledged.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Awaiting
Yes,
orders.
sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
On hold. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit lost. On hold. Cancelled.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Lost.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Ready and waiting.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Commander. Indeed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
Awaiting orders.
Indeed.
Building infiltrated.
Yes, sir.
Sit up, bud.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Knowledge.
Our base is under attack.
Awaiting orders.
Prepare.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Building
Acknowledged.
infiltrated.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Circular.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Structure sold. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes,
Vehicle
sir.
reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awaiting order. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Ready and waiting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Structure sold.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle yes, report. Sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. Structure sold. Structure sold.
Yes,
Unit
sir. Affirmative.
repaired.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit repaired. On hold. Cancelled. Unit repaired. Building. On hold.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Cancelled. Repairing.
Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
repaired.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing. Unit repaired.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yeah? Okay, okay.
Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Naval unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Agreed. Reporting very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Reporting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Agreed. Yes, sir. Very well. Reporting. Agreed. Yes, sir. At once. Reporting. Ready and very well. Awaiting orders.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Reporting. Of course. Yes, sir. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. Agreed. Reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. At once. Awaiting orders. Very well.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Pak tu saya dah apa-apa dah. Untuk mas.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Oke, mari
Yes, sir.
kita
Affirmative.
dulu saja.
Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Juri mesti dapat.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Structure sold.
Ready and waiting. Agreed. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Structure sold. Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Building.
Ready and waiting.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Very well.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of course.
Affirmative. At once. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Repairing.
At once.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Of course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting.
I'm broke,
Acknowledged.
man. I'm broke.
Awaiting orders.
Nice.
Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Awaiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. Walaupun drop.